Hey everybody, welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I'm not prepared. Shoot, I didn't have a good name.
Again?
I guess that fits. He caught me off guard. You're like, let me get a drink of water. We're starting the podcast. It's like, oh no, I haven't thought of anything. But that worked.
This happens sometimes.
I'm not prepared is pretty good.
Hey, so guess what?
What?
The other day, I went on the internet and I found this.
Why would you do that? First off, why would you do that? Also, yes, please.
So I found, on accident, probably the best anime idea I've ever seen that's actually real.
This is the best worst.
Shall I read it to you? Because it's delightful. It's an anime that's based on a manga that is out.
My lord.
It's entitled Backstreet Girls. So conjure in your mind what you think that's going to be.
Fantastically terrible.
And let me tell you why you're wrong.
This.
A group of 3 Yakuza failed their boss for the last time. After messing up an important job, the boss gave them 2 choices: honorably commit seppuku, or go to Thailand to get a sex reassignment surgery in order to become, quote, female idols. After a gruesome year training to become idols, they successfully debut with overwhelming popularity, much to their dismay. This is where their tragedy truly begins.
That's the best pitch I've ever heard in my life. That has 100 things wrong with it, and I love it. Love it.
It's like, I can't.
Love it.
I know we made fun of that Civil War thing where they're all magical girls,
Ben,
but this is way better than that.
Ben?
Yes.
Ben.
Yes.
Some Yakuza guys cut off their pinky. These guys.
They go all out.
They go all the way. They show their loyalty, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yes. What's even better is the cover art for this show, because it's 3 idol-looking girls in schoolgirl outfits with miniskirts, but behind them,
they look like they're Cromartie High people.
Yes, Cromartie High or GTO, completely different art style. It's amazing, and I'm for this.
You need to find this manga and you need to read all of it.
I don't want to spoil myself.
Now,
on this upcoming piece of art.
Oh, wow. No, Ben.
Yes.
Ben.
Uh-huh.
Ben. So where it says where this comes from, it says adaptation. Click that adaptation and you get the cover art for the manga. And you will not be disappointed.
This is even better.
I told you. Are you not entertained?
I need a minute. I didn't look at that.
Are you not entertained?
So it's basically the same girls again, except instead of standing up with the dudes behind them, they're all like sitting on an edge like dudes would be, and one's just drinking sake straight out of a bottle. The middle one is man spreading, and the other one is just looking off in the distance. But the man spreading and the sake bottle, that's pretty choice. I'm for it.
See, when you say you don't want to spoil yourself, do you mean you don't want to know the story, or like I don't want to like eat so much of a good thing that I become spoiled from it?
I can't eat a whole cake. So
exactly. So in a way,
add to list.
Yeah.
Plan to watch.
Plan to watch. Is it real watching or is it experiencing?
It's definitely an experience. Absolutely. Ugh. So that was my thing to share with you.
Well,
what have you got for us this week?
Thank you for that. Man, I haven't even gotten a chance to watch Double. Like, we're recording this thing pretty quick after the last one. So, like, I what do you want me to say? I got Twilight Imperium 4th edition, and I'm very excited to play it.
Really? Do you have any other editions? And if so, how do you have room?
I have 3rd. Did you not see all my shelves?
I have not seen all of your shelves in your new place.
I have so many board game shelves. It's phenomenal. Actually, we still need to get 2 more sets, and then we're good.
I just remember someone mentioning that you were banned from buying new games in your old apartment.
I mean, that was in the old apartment because we didn't have enough space, but now we got all this space. Got this whole house.
You've got that understairs secret
We do,
lair.
but that's not where you keep them because that no one can see them there.
What do you keep in your secret lair?
A little boy who thinks he's a wizard.
That's fair. So, over the last couple of weeks, I've been like binging a lot of mangas.
Yeah.
That have nothing to do with sex reassignment surgery or the Yakuza.
Why not?
Because I didn't know that existed until yesterday. I finished these before that.
Okay.
So 2 of them are by Shuzo Oshimi, and then the other one is by Inio Asano.
Okay.
So the 2 Akuno Hanagai ones are Happiness,
Yeah.
which is about
good.
vampires.
Slow, but good.
I didn't think I would like it because it's vampires, and I'm not.
Yeah, but it's like
super
good
into
because it's
vampires.
like, hey, you know how violent and terrible vampires are? Yeah, that.
Yeah,
You're like,
imagine
oh.
teenage. Oh, this doesn't end well.
It doesn't.
Actually, come to think of it, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Narutaru.
Sure.
Have you seen Narutaru or read it?
No.
Okay, so imagine Pokemon are.
Oh, yes. I know
real.
the show now. Yeah. No, I know the show. This is the one with the girl flying on the banana, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So for our viewers, imagine Pokemon are real. Only certain people can have them, though. They're given to real life teenagers. Guess what happens?
Bad.
Teenagers gonna teenage.
Yeah, teenagers are bad. Yo.
Essentially, yeah. So the only criticism I'd have of Happiness, because it's not finished yet.
Is it real slow?
Not that it's real slow, it's just there's not enough Nora in it.
That's true. But
Spoilers. Spoilers. Nora is, in the beginning, there's a boy, and he gets turned into a vampire. And the girl who does it is named Nora. And she's cool, and she's barely in it so far. That's my own criticism of it.
Yeah, sure. And what's the other one?
The other one is I'm Inside Mary, essentially.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So there's this Hikikomori who went off to college, decided he hated college, and just bums around now. Well, he bums around, and he also goes to this convenience store every night about 9 p.m., and he keeps seeing this high school girl, and he becomes infatuated with her a little bit, but only from a distance.
This sounds like this guy's themes, yeah.
Yeah, and then one day, he wakes up, and he's just inside her body.
Oh.
Mind switch.
Oh, it's a mind switch, not like a him also?
I can't spoil anything.
Okay.
Because the whole point of the manga is trying to figure out how to get him back into his own body. And where did Mary go?
That's an excellent question.
So it's very interesting. It's pretty short. I kind of figured out what was going on maybe about halfway through.
Okay.
And I wasn't totally sold on the ending, but it's still good. And the author, if you know anything about Akuno Hana, the author likes to put himself at the end of every chapter explaining stuff about what he's written. And at the end of the first Takabon, he wrote, not only did he write out his thoughts, he illustrated them too, basically saying, I wrote this because I always wondered what it would like to be a girl.
Well, there you go.
I wanted to know what it would be like to be a girl. And so I wrote this to try to figure that out. Not like a sexual way or anything, but I just felt it was really sad that I will never be able to experience what 50% of the human race can experience.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So I wrote this thing.
Well, I mean, if only he were to ask the mangaka of Backstreet Girls, we may have an answer.
He would
We
get
should
an
probably
education.
put like 12 trigger warnings in front of this episode, or we're going to get in big trouble on the internet.
So many trigger warnings. And the only other one I read, the big one, was a manga called Goodnight Punpun.
Yeah.
And
Goodnight
it
Punpun.
is, I'm not going to lie, it's probably one of the best, if not the best, manga I've ever read in my life. Same vein as the original Akuno Hana, where it just follows some kids being kids. If you want to boil it down, that's actually the plot of both. But it follows this boy named Punpun from kindergarten till he's about, I think, 24-ish. Nothing goes right for Punpun. It's also very interesting in the fact that the main character, Punpun, is never actually depicted as a boy because the author didn't want people to feel like things were happening to him because he was like too ugly or too tall or too pretty or anything like that. So he just draws him as like this really cartoonish bird. So you as the reader can put,
Yes, it's the bone. It's the bone theory.
you can put whatever you want on that character.
Yeah,
But he
not
is a real boy.
bone theory, but like Bone, the comic theory.
Yeah.
The theory behind Bone.
It's a very deeply affecting manga, and it's going to take me quite a while to unpack it.
Well, there you go.
There's a lot there. Also, the backgrounds are phenomenal. If for
That's
no
always
other
good.
reason.
I mean, if you're not using all that time on your pro tag, you might as well.
Well, everything else is drawn beautifully. It's just Punpun and his immediate family are all drawn as birds.
There you go.
So I definitely recommend Goodnight Punpun.
All right. Well, let's talk about this episode so I can go watch more Hallmark movies.
This robot.
That's what I'm about.
You're about robots or Hallmark movies?
Let's just go with yes.
Quick question. Do they have any Hallmark movies about robots?
Is there a robot that is a roguishly handsome man who's into woodworking or, something like that?
That just sounds like the plot of Parks and Recreation.
Maybe.
Hallmark movie. Robot.
I don't think so. Nor would I imagine there would be. Doesn't quite fit the...
So I Googled that. The
Yeah.
top 3 hits are Finding Christmas on the Hallmark Channel.
Don't think that has a robot.
12 New Movies of Christmas, 2014, Hallmark Channel. And Space Camp, 1986.
Hey, we watched that movie all the time when we were kids.
We did. It has a robot.
It does have a robot. Let's see here.
And it belongs on Hallmark Channel.
It does. I think it was a Hallmark movie now that I think about it.
Oh, it's ABC Motion Pictures.
Oh, there you go.
No, Hallmark. I think Hallmark Channel existed back then. Anyway, that has a robot.
Why does Finding Christmas pop up as, like, robot?
I don't know.
I need to click this and then search the page for robot.
I don't know, but this picture that pops up as, like, the cover on the Hallmark Channel website, first of all, is super low resolution and sad.
It is, isn't it?
And second of all, it's absolutely like the banner image for the subreddit Totally Not Robots.
It kind of is. Maybe that's why.
None of these people are robots. Totally.
No, maybe that's the deep cut. Maybe that's why it pops up.
People know. Google knows.
No, Google knows.
Anyway, back in Japan, maybe.
Maybe.
I remember their names this time.
Oh, do you?
Yes, because we open on Rikuo.
Oh, fancy boy. Look at this fancy boy.
Remembering the names of characters in a show he's watching. That's me.
See, you can get away with this because, like, I'm just terrible with names all the time, no matter what. So, like, this is just my normal.
So we open on Rikuo tossing and turning in bed in the middle of the night because someone is playing the piano in their house.
Yeah, what a putz. Who does that? I ask you. I swear, there's a next door neighbor here that plays the drums sometimes just randomly, and it's like, why?
Is he good at it?
No, I mean, it's not just a cacophony.
Oh, well, I guess that's a plus.
Yeah.
So Rikuo eventually wakes up and he wanders out into the living room and shock of shocks, guess who's on the couch?
His sister.
Does she do anything? Ever?
No, but she's at least not watching like we don't get yet another message from the ethics committee, so that's nice.
No, we just get a news report about robots taking over more and more industries.
Welcome to 2017. He asks where Sammy is, and she's like, "Oh, she's off doing maintenance, and she has to do it once a month because that's what robots have to go do." And they do say that she's probably going to Dad's place, so their dad definitely works in the robotics industry, so that's nice to get a confirmation of.
Ryoko opens the blinds by tapping the window. He sits down talking about how he's not very hungry because he's so sleepy and depressed, apparently.
Yep, mostly sleepy.
And we get a shot of the coolest thing in the episode, I feel, which is the newspaper.
Yeah, because it's like super flat. Not super flat as in the art style. It's like an ultra thin
e-ink display, essentially.
Yep.
But it's just
Seems
like paper.
Reasonable.
But we get this shot of all the different stories on there.
Yeah.
Which talk about, again, androids going into more industries, and especially something about a robot artist.
That doesn't bode well for poor Rikuo's psyche as he glares at that one.
And his sister pops out over the couch and is like, "Oh, by the way, I know you like playing the piano and all, but could you not do it at 3 a.m.? That'd be fantastic." But he just mutters to himself that it wasn't a dream.
Yep.
So someone was up playing the piano that wasn't Rikuo or his sister. So this is the other thing. He picks up the paper and looks at the stories below the fold. Apparently, in this newspaper, you can zoom in on stories and open windows and stuff.
See, that's really cool. I want to be a part of that future.
But apparently, there was a piano competition, a junior one, that he participated in. And he's on stage here next to some girl. And there's a robot at the piano. A very robot-looking robot.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole headline is about how the robot gave a guest performance.
Yep.
Doesn't really mention him.
No.
Even though he won, because he has a little sideline note over in the side saying, oh yeah, by the way, this scrub won the whole competition, but who cares about that? Check out this robot.
Well, because who cares about humans? Did you catch anything on the load screen this time? Anything fun? Or is it the normal?
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's still time of eve.
So we cut back to the classroom where there's a group of kids hanging around a robot trying to make it do fun things.
Yep.
And Rikuo is sitting all by himself. One thing I noticed is he's there and they've all got, their desks with all their cool electronic stuff on them. But he doesn't have his laptop with him. I don't know if he forgot it at home or he just doesn't have it out.
Yeah.
But it's very prominent because he sits back and starts typing, sort of.
No. He's not typing. No. You've seen Pop do this before.
I have, but in the context of my mind when I saw this, I was like, his laptop isn't there and he's really tired. So maybe he's like,
yeah,
no,
it's true.
I forgot my laptop.
It took me a second to realize. Yeah, it took me a second to realize. It's like, no. He's practicing the piano in his mind.
Yeah. Because if you remember from an earlier episode,
yeah,
he does play the piano and Misaki sort of chides him for it. Speaking of Misaki, he suddenly shows up.
He shows up like a scrub with like a what looks like a mugshot, but it's about he found it at his dad's about an android that has been programmed to be a dad droid.
And what does he look like?
Dad droid, an old man. He looks very similar to somebody we may have met before.
An old man robot.
Old man robot. It's like Old Man River, only more robot-y.
But apparently, this particular robot has been in development in secret.
Yeah.
And a couple units have been deployed to a shelter somewhere.
Yeah.
And they are growing in numbers.
Yeah, because they want to use them in the future. Now, hold on. Now, I cannot imagine a future Japan where the birth rates are so low that they need robots to raise the kids. Like, this seems opposite, right? It seems like you have too many, like, orphans at the moment, so you need robots to raise kids.
Funny you should mention that. There's a story on the front page of Reddit, as we speak, that says that the birth rate in Japan right now is so low that the diaper consumption for adults has been higher than for children for the past 6 years.
Oh, no.
I know, right?
Well, that could also be slightly because of more traditionalist leanings and them not necessarily using disposable diapers on children.
No, it's because they have a soaring senior population and no kids. There are no kids.
I know there are no kids. Hey, you should have kids. I'm surprised there aren't more stories here about how you should have kids and how having siblings are the best.
I know, right?
What show was it that we were watching that was always like, hey, have kids?
I don't know. I forget.
I think it was Hyoka. Yeah, because that show's not forgettable and sticks in your mind so well.
Did we watch that one?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, I'll have to go back and check it out.
Praz D or whatever his name is. He does all those funny vines and anime vines.
Oh, yeah.
He loves Hyoka.
Oh, good.
Because he has good taste. He has taste, brother. And he's a taste maker who has taste.
Oh.
So there, deal.
He also ate leaves.
Not as good as Griffin McElroy eating that banana wrong.
That is a thing that happened, yes.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, Misaki and Rikuo are like, you don't think that old man... Misaki's like, dude, come on. Really? You're still playing this game of, well, maybe they're not a robot. Of course they're a robot.
Like
this is how the show works. They're a robot.
Like, they're always a robot. The less you think they're a robot, the more they are a robot.
Wait. Does that mean Rikuo's a robot?
I'm leaning very heavily towards Rikuo or Misaki being a robot, yes.
What if One-chan is a robot? That would explain so much.
I find that very unlikely.
Why?
It's far more likely that Rikuo or Misaki is a robot.
No. Think about this. She is a robot, and her wireless charging station is the couch.
No.
No.
No, this doesn't add up at all.
All right.
You get points for effort, but not even an A for effort.
Sorry.
Either way, Misaki dips with his new girlfriend, who also dislikes robots.
He's running with the wrong crowd.
Yeah, so Rikuo decides to go to the to Time of Eve all on his own.
Sad times.
Very slowly. Because they needed to pad this episode out a little bit, I guess.
Well, we get our sad piano music over it. Because
That's
we need
fair.
to be reminded about pianos the entire episode.
I mean, that's true.
Okay, there is one shot as he's walking through the city, and we're getting this montage of his slow travels.
Yeah.
There is a particular shot that I find interesting on 2 levels. One is there are 2 robots with halos standing next to a no robot sign.
Now, I'm telling you, that's a no robot parking thing. We
Sure.
went over this in the first episode.
Okay, sure, but they are standing right there.
Are they parked?
I would suggest that if they are just standing there loitering,
They are loitering.
parked.
No, because they're talking to each other. They're obviously doing something.
That was the second layer. If you have 2 robots conversing, could they not just converse with
modem to each other?
Yeah, like Wi-Fi.
No.
Because speech is like one of the most inefficient ways of communicating with anything.
Okay, so, brother,
Yes.
here's something fun to consider. Maybe they're not speaking language. Maybe they're opening their mouth and it's like horribly condensed sonic garbage to humans.
That is possible.
They could
I
be
find it
opening their
highly
mouth
unlikely.
and it's modem noises. Or they're communicating by rapidly flashing lights in their eyes and are simply opening their mouths so that humans understand what's going on. With a simple context clue. Look, I'm a master of no prizes. I can give out so many of these.
Of what prizes?
A no prize?
I don't know what that
It's like
is.
when you explain away something that's like, obviously, this isn't correct.
Oh,
No, this isn't what happened, but
I see.
I can find a way to make this work in canon. It's like headcanoning things, only in the real way headcanon was supposed to work before the term got horribly corrupted.
The dude robot is also
Yeah.
gesturing with his hands as he talks.
Yeah, again, these are all just clues for the
For the
human
humans to
onlookers.
figure that nothing bad is going on, but really they're plotting.
Well, that way robots aren't just standing there staring at each other, and people are like, "Come on, nope." They've all bugged out. Where it's like, "Oh no, they're communicating something."
I don't think anybody would be weirded out by 2 robots just standing there doing nothing, looking at each other, because they do that anyway. Like when they're standing in the rain being sad that someone took their umbrella away.
Either way, Rikuo walks into the bar and immediately stares longingly at their baby grand.
Okay, think about that baby grand. You'll note what orientation it is when they walk in, right? Which way is it facing? The keys are facing
no idea.
towards the corner of the room.
Yeah, well, okay, so
Oh, you
it's on a
point this out
rotating
for later.
platform.
Yeah.
No, it's on a rotating platform.
Is it?
Yep.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's sitting on the floor.
Obviously, it must be on a rotating platform. How else could decide that the keys are on change?
Well, then it could be that somebody with great strength.
Like a robot picked it up and
Rotated
moved
it.
it? That's also fine. I'm telling you, again, I got infinite no prizes. Deal with it.
But yeah, he walks in and Nagi's almost immediately jumping on him like, "Hey, where's your lover there? You know, the other dude." Rikuo's like, "We're not always together." Like,
Yeah, you are.
you?
Yeah, aren't you? Aren't
think you
Come
are.
on. Yeah, you're a couple. Deal with it. But Chie is there, and she is sad and alone, and the bartender is looking over her.
And we get our title card for this particular episode, which is Act 5, Chie and Shimei.
Shimei.
The melody of Eve. I wonder what the melody could represent. Solely
It's
not the piano.
It's the piano. It's the piano. Either way, Rikuo was like, "Hey, hopefully your dad will be back soon." But Chie is quick to point out that the guy who's always with her is not her dad. So there.
It's her foster dad.
Foster dad. Hey,
Parent.
wait.
Mm,
He's a robot.
he's a robot.
I do like how she has to name it out and she like counts the syllable of it, which is super cute on her fingers.
Also, Rikuo here is trying to he's bad with kids, obviously, and people and robots, but he's like trying to smile at her kind of, but he's already depressed and he can't smile really. So when he tries to smile at her and cheer her up a little bit, he just ends up freaking her out.
Yeah. No, the good news is what's her face shows up.
Aiko?
Super peppy robot. Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, Riko.
Aiko. Riko?
No, you're right. Wait, I think.
Aiko? Riko?
Riko? Riko? Rauku?
Bubbly robot. Bubblebot.
What? Yeah, Bubblebot. I like that. I'll go with Bubblebot.
So Bubblebot shows up, and she also asks, "Hey, where's that man boy friend of yours? We're not always together. I told you that." And even she's like, "Aren't you though? Because you're always together here."
He snaps at them, and that causes them to be like, "Okay, let's leave."
Well, even Nagi's like, "Maybe you should go over there. We need to have like
Akiko.
hashtag real talk." Yeah, we're both right.
Close enough.
Interesting phrasing here, though. Riko's like, "Man, Akiko's pretty good with kids, isn't she?" And Nagi's like, "That's because she's an adult, unlike me."
Yeah.
You certainly look older.
Yeah, well, it's best not to worry about it.
Definitely not
Everybody's a
because
robot.
she's a robot.
Everybody is a robot.
The piano is also a robot.
Yeah, that's how it can move on its own.
Yes. So Rikuo tries to do some diggings. Like, so, Shimei, what does he do for a living? But Nagi doesn't know.
Yep.
He just comes in here and dotes on Chia-chan all day.
I mean, that is what he does. The evidence suggests.
But it turns out this isn't the first time that Nagi has been taking care of Chie.
Yeah, she has to do it like once a month. How weird.
And always on the same day.
How weird.
That is odd.
That's strange.
It could just be a coincidence, I think.
Yeah, it's a quinky dink. Yeah, no, you're right. Definitely not. Does not mean he's a robot in any way, shape, or form. Who'd be a robot? I'm not a robot.
Well, Nagi notices that Rikuo is feeling pretty gloomy, probably because all the bags under his eyes and his just not cheery disposition overall.
Someone's hangry and slangry. Is that sleepy, angry, slangry? It is now.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. No, I just made it up. TM.
Well, that's what he says he is, but she's not buying it.
I mean, I wouldn't buy it either. He's in a bad mood and sleepy, so he's both slangly and just regular angry.
Yeah, and when she calls out, "Actually, I think you're just being in a pissy mood," he decides,
storms off.
Yeah,
he decides to instantly prove her right. So, I mean,
he's like, "I'll show you. I'm gonna cheer up that kid because I did such a good job of it 2 seconds ago."
Bah, deal. Don't you worry about blank. And off he storms.
So we cut over to the other side of the room where Chie and Akiko are listening to one of the lover robots, whose name I totally don't remember.
Boy lover robot.
Reading out of that Code Life book. And it says, "There's absolutely nothing in your heart when you've just been born. It's totally empty." And this is true for everyone. Robots, people, cats, people who think they're cats.
Yeah, I mean, that covers most of the demographics.
Robots that may be people that think they're cats. Question mark.
Yeah. Robots that think they're people, that the person they think they are thinks they are a cat, who thinks it's a robot, who thinks it's a cat.
Indeed.
Shaped like a person.
But the book continues. It just means that your heart has yet to be filled with all kinds of good things and happy thoughts.
This sounds very new age. I'm not for it.
But Rikuo shows up to darken the mood and be like,
he does.
"I'll show you all. My heart is still empty."
Yeah, deal. Hey.
But he looks down at Chie and sits down next to her and is like, "All right, here we go. I'm going to do a good here. So, aren't you just really lonely when Shimei's not here?"
Yeah.
You know how he's not here and he's abandoned you? Does that make you feel lonely ever?
Do you like him? Do you like eating beans with him? Do you like George Wendt? Would you eat beans with George Wendt and Shimei? Would you go to a movie with Shimei watching George Wendt eat beans?
That's a bit of a deep cut.
Is it?
A little bit. But she's like, "Oh, he just goes off and does things, I guess. But he cares." Rikuo's like, "Does he? Because he just goes off on his own. I wonder where he even goes, because it makes you so lonely. Does he even care about you?"
And Akiko's like, "Hey, you know how she's like a 6-year-old girl, right? And you are like emotionally scarring her for, forever? How about not that?"
Rikuo is bad at, I was going to say people, but everyone.
He's bad at robots. He's bad at sapient life forms.
So Akiko's like, hey, Chie, how about that restroom? You want to go to a restroom right now? Because
Rikuo
Rikuo
or at
will
least
not
stand
follow us
outside
over
of it
there.
and fix our legs.
But as they leave,
Meanwhile,
old,
Captain Grimdark in the corner gives him a look.
and he starts philosophizing a little bit. Now, he's the only one in this establishment that I'm not sure about.
Yeah, he may be a human. Because I think he's actually a human overseeing, like, coming in to, like, check in on this weird robot experiment they've got going.
Yeah, I feel like that is probably the case. But he starts talking to Rikuo about hurting other people.
Yeah, and how about no?
And how that's probably not the best idea. And turns out, even when you try really hard, you end up hurting people anyway. Like what you just did.
Yeah, you moron. Also, sometimes robots can hurt other robots. So, deal. Hey, back off.
Well, he also gets upset because he thinks that this dude is implying that Rikuo is unpleasant as a person just because he's human.
Well, yeah, he does. Yeah.
You're an unpleasant person because you're an unpleasant person. Not necessarily because you're human.
Ben. No. He's an unpleasant person because he's a shitty teen.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They're like a step up on the worser person scale than grad students.
Ew.
Yeah, see, I told you.
And we get this nice cut as this guy is explaining to him about hurting other people. This nice supercut of Rikuo hurting everyone around him.
Yeah, he does.
Like pulling Sammy's hair. Like a jerk.
Yeah, like a jerk. Flagrantly breaking the rules of this establishment. Constantly.
All the time.
And remember that time he broke the heart of that robot that died? Yeah, he did that too. Remember that? Yeah.
He decides that he's had enough of this hashtag real talk, and he's going to go upstairs and sulk for a bit.
He's going to go up to his room and brood, like an adult would do. So he's going to go hashtag adulting upstairs.
Ugh, I hate that word.
Oh, you're telling me.
It's the worst word in the world.
It's up there. With moist.
Moist I can take, because it just sounds
Well,
weird. Adulting is just... Ugh.
What if you're moist adulting? Adulting moistly.
Then you're doing something
moistly
weird.
adulting today. Okay, name of the episode, Moistly Adulting.
I feel like it's going to be trigger warnings.
Moistly adulting. Now, moistly adulting.
Maybe.
It's up there with, what was it, moist dryer insertion? Yeah.
There's a theme going on.
And it is moist.
So the one girl that's scantily dressed that gives Rikuo fits tries to follow him up the stairs. She's like, hey, wait, that one time you weren't all that bad because you actually like saved me.
Yeah.
He's like, screw you.
Did I? Well, you're a robot, so you're like, that's like saying I saved a tea kettle, so I'm going to go up here and mope.
Wow.
He does not actually say that, for the record. Rikuo is kind of a ditz, but he's not that dumb.
No, but he's thinking it.
Probably. He's thinking he's been so terrible because he has been.
And he goes up and he sits at the table, lays his head down and goes, this sucks. And because I hadn't seen the rest of the episode at this point, when I first watched it, I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I know he's upset about something, and it becomes obvious later. But at this point, the story hasn't really told me quite enough to figure out why he's moping, other than he's just a bad teenager.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. But now we're going to get flashbacks.
Yep. Turns out Misaki and Rikuo have had a conversation recently where they're talking about their futures. And Misaki's like, I am going to go to law school and become a lawyer specializing in robotics law.
Personally, I want you to not major in robotics law, but just robot law, because that sounds awesome.
Robot law.
Yeah, exactly. What are you in charge of? Robot law. It's like law of the jungle. Like cat law. It's robot law. It sounds cool. I'm for it.
But he's like, so Rikuo, you gonna go in and do the piano thing like normal? Because we're all expecting you to. He's like,
no, I'm gonna quit. He's like, why would you quit? Just because like a robot outstaged you? And he's like, well, yeah, kinda.
Essentially, yes. I mean, I won the grand prize and everything, but everyone was focused on the robot. But it's not actually just because he was upstaged by a robot in the newspaper. It's because when that robot was performing, Rikuo was like moved by it. It wasn't just a like MIDI representation of what the music's supposed to be played through a robot.
Yeah.
Like there was feeling put into it, apparently, or simulated, one way or the other. And I guess at this point, he's like, well, if they can at least simulate feeling and emotion like that through art, then what am I even good for?
What are you even good for?
But here's the interesting thing. So he's upset about that. But we're already using IBM Watson to do a lot of paralegal work and putting a bunch of new lawyers out of work. So Misaki is actually the one that should be worried about his job, not Rikuo.
Well, that's fairly accurate.
In the real world. But in his little flashback, he gets cheery-eyed because he hears some music from another source and then wakes up.
Yeah. And that music is not very good.
No, it's pretty childish. Also, he wakes up and there's a blanket on him.
Yeah, how cute.
Somebody's come up and put a blanket on old Rikuo because someone felt sorry for him, even though he really didn't deserve it.
No, he really didn't. And he looks down over the balcony after he puts on his glasses, and why, it's Sammy. Playing the computer, playing the robot piano.
the robot piano, which has moved and is shorter than it was.
Well, yeah,
I noticed that too.
Ben, of course it's moved. Her music was beautiful. It moved its Kokoro.
I see that. So all the people in the cafe are gathered around Sammy as she's finished. And they applaud. And she stands up and she's like, oh, it's nothing. I know I'm bad, but I learned it from watching somebody else play.
I learned it from watching you.
Well, she doesn't know she's being watched. I don't even think she knows he's here yet.
Oh, no, of course not.
And she's like, I've heard it so many times, so I just sort of picked it up. Which I think gives, well, it doesn't at this particular moment, but eventually it gives Rikuo a pause because if it were just a matter of imitation, a robot could easily hear stuff and reproduce it.
Oh, yeah.
But Sammy's actually really bad at this. So it's clear that she's trying to imitate without just being a pure facsimile. Yeah. But he doesn't get that right away. He will.
Honestly, the tin can robot could have actually done better because it could have just opened its mouth and replayed the recording.
This is true. Well, everyone's like, oh, you should play again. You should play again. And meanwhile, Rikuo is having a fit.
He's having a feels trip. Huh?
Get it? It'd be even better if he fell over.
There you go. And then he hurt himself, and that would hurt, so he would definitely have a feels trip. Anyway, he's recalling all the moments he was super crummy to Sammy, which was spoilers all of the moments.
Well, he's also really angry because he's like, she's trying to take this away from me, too.
Hey, you know what's the most sincere form of flattery?
Stealing other people's work?
I was going to say sharing your casa when you're crossing a bridge, but yeah, all right.
Well, the reason he remembers all this is because as he's storming away, and he's about to storm downstairs and give Sammy a piece of his mind for taking away his talent, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he notices somebody came up here and put a blanket on him. And then he remembers all the times he was very specifically mean to his own robot.
Yep. Like this one time they were sharing a casa over a bridge and then some girls laughed at him. So he was like, nuts to you. You can get wet, robot.
Moist. So we have all these flashbacks and he comes downstairs. Maybe he's grown a little bit on the inside.
Has he?
Maybe a little bit.
All I can think of is that this is going through his head while they're walking.
Electric love. Electric love.
I don't think he loves his robot yet.
He's getting there.
Well, we all know what happens when you love your robot.
Your robot?
You fall over and your arms fall off.
I was going to say you erase her memory. But, yeah, okay. Hey, that show is very deep and has very deep, meaningful things to say about robot love.
Does it? How does he turn that robot on, brother?
Oh, I know all sorts of ways he turns that robot on. You walked right into that one.
Where's her power switch?
That's true.
When he consummates his love, does she reset? That's a good question. Well, we're talking about Chobits, if you ain't caught on.
We're always talking about Chobits. Some way.
Chobits. Anyway, Sammy's sitting back down at the piano, and she looks back up, and oh look, it's her it's Rikuo-san, who is about ready to just slap a bitch.
Well, actually, thankfully, he's actually kind of cool for once.
Well, she's ready for it because...
Oh, yeah, she is. She's ready for him to pull that ponytail out so fast.
And she's like, but it's... Okay, yeah, it's a song. It was your song, but I like your song, so could you not hit me or take my ponytail holder?
Could you not pull out my scrunchie?
Please. But apparently she was playing it not only because she enjoyed it, but because Chie-chan was sad. And she wanted to cheer her up by playing this song because it made her happy, so she thought it would make Chie happy.
You get a moral here where Sammy just wants to try and make people happy by like doing things that she thinks will make people happy because they make her happy.
Yeah, that's a very human thing.
It is, isn't it? She's trying her best, bless her heart.
And Rikuo takes a couple steps toward her, and even Chie knows, now hang on a second. I know how this is.
Don't you hurt no robot. Yeah, you're going to pull out her ponytail.
She runs up and holds on to Sammy and is like, this is mine. I will protect this, you mean old Rikuo. He very quietly walks over to the piano and is like, I didn't want to play it in front of you because I was self-conscious.
Well, no.
And I would have hated you.
Yeah.
If
the irony wasn't that he wasn't that self-conscious. The irony is that he didn't want his robot to be better than him. Where spoilers, your robot's always going to be better than you.
They're going to take over at some point. They speak through their eyes, you know.
Yeah. Good thing they use human-like facsimiles of language to let us all know that that's what they're doing.
But he's like, you know what? Even though I had all those trepidations, who cares? And then he just plays it anyway, which makes Nagi very happy. Like she's witnessing something finally bloom inside of his dumb little mind.
It's like, hey, don't be a jerk.
He's got it, maybe. He's got something. He's got more than he had. Read it somewhere.
When you think about it, he's really just playing to a bunch of tape recorders. So, I mean...
Hey, don't discriminate against
tape recorders. Tea kettles.
In this establishment.
Things that are basically tea kettles.
Wow, that was extremely insensitive.
Yeah, no, I know.
More trigger
Maybe we should
warnings.
just call it... No, that's the name of the episode. Extremely insensitive. Because I think that sums up all of our discussions today, which are extremely insensitive.
This is true. The only sensitive person in the room at the moment is Sammy, who feels...
Oh, wait, no, there's another... Magically, there is another sensitive person, as Shimei has shown up. Good job, him.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, hey, good job. You made Chie happier than she's ever been in a long time. Probably because she has no dad except me, and I'm a fake robot dad. So, you know.
Yeah, robot dad does show up.
Yeah, and he does feel sorry that he left her on her own again.
But he says, I didn't want to show her yet.
Yep. Oh, now who's breaking the rules?
Well, what's funny is he knows he's breaking the rules. And Rikuo's like, should you be talking about this with me in here? And he's like, just don't tell Nagi-san. It'll be fine.
How the apprentice has become the master of rules lawyering.
So it seems like Nagi-san gets on everyone's case.
Yeah, which is good. But yeah, he's super a dad robot, a dad droid.
Well, and apparently Sammy has left all by herself.
So it turns out that door trick does work if you exit the same time they come in.
Yep. It's not a perfect system.
I'm telling you, there's like a lag thing though, right? Where you have to get like so far away before the halos swap.
Yeah.
And as you approach, your halo starts fading or something.
Well, we get to see her walk up the stairs, and the light on the door is still red, so it's locked. And she goes up to the outside door and closes it. And as she's standing on the other side of that, her halo is red, and she has sort of a blank look on her face.
I didn't quite notice. Let me see.
Yeah, her halo's back to being red.
And everything. Yeah, but did she have her halo walking upstairs? Oh, you can't see because
really
the bloom of the outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty good, right? Because like, there's no way you're like, it probably waits till both doors are closed before it changes.
She's also singing to herself as she walks up those stairs.
Yeah, and she does have a blank look for just a moment, but then she smiles to herself.
Yep.
Which is something that's weird for a robot to do, right?
Giggle.
To itself?
To itself, all by itself, and no one's looking.
Like, that's weird. And then we pan up to a bright light sky, and then we come back to inside for some reason, because that seems like where it should end.
Inside with Rikuo still feeling sorry for himself.
Slightly.
Again.
Well, no, now he just kind of feels bad about, Sammy and all that.
And then he pulls the old tsundere trick of, I'm glad that she's getting friends and all. Not like I'm mad about that or anything.
Not that I'm mad about it.
And Nagi thinks for a second and is like, maybe I should touch him. Which is an awkward moment. I don't know why she thought that would be a good idea. But she doesn't. She pulls away at the last second and decides, I'm just going to go to the back. She's like, you're pretty great playing that song back there. And he's like, hey, this cafe, I don't hate it.
Aw, he's learned to love robots.
No, he's learned not to hate robots.
Yeah, I mean, then that's fair. As long as he's not dating them.
The end. Oh, wait, no, there's another scene.
No, I know, right? This episode's kind of weird. Because it even starts the outro music. Okay, so this is important.
Yes. I was waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
So we cut to Misaki's apartment, which is completely desaturated, very gray.
Yeah.
And he walks inside, and his dad is somewhere talking about robot business. And he walks inside, Misaki does, and he looks down the hall, and what do you see?
Oh, it's a robot.
That's the robot I see. We finally see the same robot.
See, yeah, it must have just been like those earlier scenes. They wanted to reinforce. Yeah, he got a robot instead of like a weird shape.
It is a weird shaped robot standing in the hallway silently.
It's extremely rosy, right?
It is very rosy, the robot. Well, it's a lot rounder.
Yeah, it's like a round rosy.
I can't tell what kind of personality it has because it's just standing there.
Yeah, it's just kind of...
And in the past, we could say it may have made Misaki cry.
Or maybe he was just crying because he was being left to be raised by a robot, which is kind of lame. Especially that robot, where it's like, how am I supposed to empathize with that thing?
And not a nice old grandpa robot?
Even that, we do slightly sympathize with the weird black cylinder I have in my kitchen, even when it can't tell you how much green is in 5.
I do feel sorry for poor
More
Alexa.
scary that it can tell you how much green is in 5. Hey, look, it's not my fault that saying, Alexa, shut up, is the fastest way to actually get it to turn off.
I have told her that. She's also gotten stuck in a loop, like when a timer's going off and she won't turn off the alarm.
See, that's your problem. Did you say, Alexa, dismiss the alarm, or did you say, Alexa, dismiss the timer? Because she does sometimes remember the difference.
We tried all kinds of things. We actually went up to her and yelled at her, Alexa, stop, Alexa, turn off alarm.
Shut up.
And eventually I had to, with a pang of guilt, like, I gotta unplug
Pull
you
her
now.
plug?
Plug you back in.
Why did you unplug your Alexa? Poor Alexa. She was just trying her
stuck.
hardest. She was trying her hardest to please you, Master. Master Sama.
Oh, you want to know another fun Alexa thing I found out this week?
What other fun Alexa thing did you find out this week?
Apparently, you can talk through your Alexa using your Alexa app on your phone.
Okay.
I found this
So
out.
you can get Alexa to say things?
Well, it's kind of like a speakerphone in your house. So you
Okay.
can call into, say, your kitchen or something when you're on the road. And
Sure.
maybe the wife is making something and she sent you to the grocery store and you're there. She can talk to you
Sure.
without having to use her hands or anything. I think
mean, that
that's
seems
the
reasonable.
idea. But
Yeah.
you can call into it, and the only indication that a call has occurred is it makes 3 beeps.
Sure.
And so the other day I came into my office while
Yeah,
my
right.
wife was doing something in the kitchen, and the 3
Sure.
beeps happened. And
Okay.
I heard that she didn't make any kind of, she didn't change whatever she was doing. I waited for a bit and then started going, wife, I can see you, wife. And I could hear her in the other room going, what's going on? Where are you?
Why would you scare your wife? See, I'm not sure Annie even knows that this is an option, so maybe I now kind of feel like I should do this to her before she learns. Something to play with later, I guess.
So next time,
Yeah. We end this charade.
yes, we end both this series, even though Jikan, and series 3 of Aniki.
Honestly, we should have just named this whole section "Fun with Alexa" because that's pretty much what all this boils down to. Because we're like, okay, so how can we boil down these complex moral themes? And it's like, oh, how about just how we interact with our little black puck that's in the bedroom?
I mean, it's essentially the same thing.
It's very similar, yeah. She can tell you elephant facts, and it's kind of funny. Be like, Alexa, tell me a fact about elephants, and she'd be like, well, howdy do.
She can also give you
Don't
cat
mind
facts.
if I do.
Lots of cat facts. In fact, here's a cat fact. Right here.
That's a googly eye. That's not a real eye at all.
But
That's not real.
his vision is fixed.
I don't know why that gives me the giggles, but that definitely gives me the giggles. You did it.
This cat has a robot eye.
It's not easy to give me the giggles, but that it gives me a good old case of them. I think it's because googly eyes on like real things is like always funny.
It's always the
Googly
best.
eyes on magic cards is always pretty sweet.
That poor cat.
Also, modern technological advancements for I stuck a googly eye on it is pretty great. On a scale of 1 to sweet euphemism, that's pretty good.
You're welcome.
All right, well, I'm going to go do something. Not this. Probably watch cheesy Hallmark movies.
We will see you next week on the final episode of Aniki Series 3. Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with us to leave comments or suggest future silly topics, you can contact us on Facebook or Twitter at Aniki Podcast. Or if you'd like to know more about the show and hear past episodes, check out our website at aniki.fm. See you next time on Aniki.